Hi everyone. So in my last video, I talked to you about my experience with the Sister Lock consultation. And I told you that more than likely I was going to do it, and that if I did get Sister Locks installed, that I would come back in December to talk about it and to show you my results. So as you can see, I have my Sisterlocks installed. I've had them for about a week, and for the most part, I'm loving them. I really don't have anything really negative to say about my experience and about having locks so far. So I want to talk about my installation experience. So I was really grateful to find a really good loctician from the very beginning, which I think is really key for starting any form of locks, but especially for sister locks because of the type of grid and the just this very specific way that sister locks have to be installed. So I found my sister loctician from basically looking at the Sisterlocks homepage, the main page for the Sisterlock brand, and on that list they have a list of all of the different certified sister locticians throughout the country. And so I found a loctician in my local area. And when I contacted her, she actually was not taking any new clients, but she referred me to my loctician. Her name is Brandy Mayweather. And I'm really grateful that I found her. Brandy, first of all, has a beautiful set of sister locks herself. She started off with locks that are about the length of mine, and now she's 3 years in, and her locks are all the way down to the middle of her back. So obviously, she knows what she's doing if she's maintaining her own locks. And I also, during my consultation day, got to see a couple of her clients come in, and they had a beautiful head of locks too. So I felt pretty confident that Brandy would be a good partner for me regarding my sister lock journey. So my sister lock installation took 2 days. If you research other people's experiences, and even I think on the website, it talks about the installation process taking 2 to 3 days. My sister loctician likes to keep it to 2 days if she can. So I really appreciated that. I started on my first day at 7 a.m. and we went until 10 p.m. And then my second day, I started at 8 a.m. and we went until close to 10 p.m. again. So it was a really long day. Here's a couple tips I would share with you to kind of get through those long days if you choose to get your sister locks installed. First of all, I would say don't pay attention to the clock. So I'm a watch wearer. I don't have my watch on today, but usually I have a watch on. So I intentionally did not wear my watch. When I looked at my phone, I tried not to look at the watch, the clock, very often because it just makes the day seem longer. It's kind of like when you're at work and you're just watching the clock the whole day. The day just seems so long. So it's the same thing with your sister lock installation days. Just don't pay attention to the clock at all. Just ignore it. Another thing I would say is make sure you take those things that, can keep your mind busy while your loctician is doing your hair. So your respective devices, your cell phone, your tablets, whatever you use to kind of, watch videos or listen to audibles and listen to a book, just whatever you need to do to keep yourself occupied, take that. Take your magazines, take a book that you haven't read. Just keep yourself occupied throughout the day. My loctician actually had a TV in her area, and we just like binge watch things on Netflix. So that's what we did most of the time. But just make sure you take things to keep yourself busy. The third thing I would say is take snacks and your meals. So I know for me, I'm naturally just a snacker. So I had the different go-to snacks that I could grab. And the salon that I went to, the salon that I go to actually focuses on locks. So they had a kitchenette area and a refrigerator where I could put my snacks that needed to be refrigerated. I can put my lunch that needed to be refrigerated. So just make sure you have a game plan in mind for snacks and for lunch because you are going to need it. So also my fourth thing I would say is wear comfortable clothing because you are going to be sitting for a long time. So I wore just like, athletic, athleisure type things like a t-shirt, something I would wear like to work out in. That's what I wore. So that way I would just be as comfortable as possible. The fifth thing, and I think this is the final thing that I would say, is just make sure that you take stand-up breaks. You just want to make sure you're not sitting for all of those hours. So what I did was the few times that she took a break, I would stand up and okay, this is my stand-up break, and I would stand up. So that's what I would do during my installation days. So if you can just ignore the clock, take things to keep you occupied, make sure you make plans for your snacks and for your meals for that day. wear casual, comfortable clothing, and then lastly, make sure that you take breaks to stand up. You will survive the installation day. It's really not as bad as you may think it is. So don't be discouraged by the 2 or 3 day. Just make sure you're prepared for it and you'll be in good shape. In summary, for me, my thoughts about my locks, I really do love them. You know, when I was doing research on locks and I saw people's pictures of installation day, I really thought that I was going to be very self-conscious about my grid. As you can see, my grid is showing, about my grid showing. Like, I really thought I was, from a vanity perspective, I was going to be like, oh, I don't want that to show. But I bought headbands. Like, girl, I was prepared, okay, to make sure that I could cover up until my, scalp kind of filled in a little bit more. But surprisingly, I've been okay with it. I'm really shocked that I'm okay with all this kind of, scalpiness. So I would say don't be afraid of the scalpiness. Don't be afraid of the grid. It actually is not that bad. So at least to me, it may look bad to you, but to me, it was better than what I expected. But if you feel like you're going to be self-conscious, buy some really pretty cute headbands and you'll be fine to get through the initial first month or two while your grid is kind of filling in. So overall, I love them. I have been getting compliments on them. Even yesterday, I went to the grocery store and there was actually a lady that had locks herself and she eased up by me and she says, "I like your sisters." And I like that. I mean, I felt so affirmed as somebody from the lock community recognized what I had in my hair and liked them. So that was really good to get that special compliment from someone that's in the lock community. So I am enjoying it, y'all. I do not regret it. I do not feel self-conscious about them. I mean, I don't regret it at this point. So I know I'm starting a new journey. I know I have a long way to go before my hair is officially locked, but for the most part, I would say that I am supportive. Like I really do like them. They've been easy to take care of. They've been easy to maintain so far. I really don't have any complaints about my installation day, about my loctician, or about how they're looking so far. I don't know how many locks I have. I forgot to ask my loctician how many locks I actually have, because I know when I see a lot of videos about locks, people talk about how many they have. So I'll have to ask her and see if she can tell me how many locks I have on my head so I can let y'all know. So I'd love to take you along for this new journey. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe so you can get my updates and my videos. My plan for updating you is to give you a few videos in about a month because I want to just kind of live in my locks for a little while and kind of experience them, and so I can give you some additional feedback. So here are 3 videos that I'm planning on preparing for you guys that hopefully I can post between like late January into February. So one is a 1-month update. So I want to talk to you guys about my first follow-up appointment, which will be next week. And then my first retightening, which will be in about 3 more weeks. So I want to give you an update on what that was like and let you see what my hair is looking like after having a couple of wash days and all of that. So I want to give you a 1-month update. So that's one video that's coming up. The second video that's going to be coming up is about a regimen. So being someone, I transitioned, if you don't already know my story, I transitioned from relaxed hair to loose natural hair. I was a loose natural for 9 years and now I have Sisterlocks. So I do understand the importance of having a regimen or maintaining your hair. And I do have in mind a regimen that I want to try, but I want to do it for about a month just to see what I think. So in that regimen update video, I'll talk to you about the products I'm using, the frequency of how I use them, what styles I'm doing. We'll talk about all of that during the regimen video. And then last but not least, I want to give you all some helpful tips for how to make Sisterlocks more affordable. Because I feel like for people that really like Sisterlocks, I think that's one of the barriers is, man, it's so expensive. I mean, it's far more expensive than just doing your own starter locks at home for free, So I want to talk to you about some things that I think could help you make Sisterlocks more affordable. They're still going to be expensive, but there's ways I think that you can make it more affordable and easier on your bank account if you really want Sisterlocks. So those are the 3 upcoming videos that probably will be posted in late January through February. So I hope you will subscribe, come along with the journey, come along with me. And whether you have locks or even if you have loose natural hair, I think it's still entertaining if nothing else, but definitely helpful to see someone go through this process. So as you may be thinking about it, or even if you have questions, I want to be, a guide for you as I'm learning, as I'm going along in my journey. So feel free to join me, and I hope to talk to you soon. Take care. Oh, and if I don't see you before the holiday, I have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and Happy Holidays to all of you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.